Happy holidays! Hey guys, welcome to another Mind Right Monday. I'm Bonnie Kelly, and happy holidays. For those of you just watching this, maybe it's right now around Thanksgiving or it's just after, and you get to see me real time in my house. Like, I am busy baking, all the noise you hear in the background are my niece and nephew playing instruments, having a good time. So I am truly blessed when it comes to the holiday seasons, but it wasn't always that way. And so today I want to talk to you about how your expectations could be ruining your holiday. Now, there's an old saying that says, expectation is the root to all heartache. And if you really stop to think about it, it's very true. It's not necessarily our agreed expectations or our spoken expectations. It truly is our unspoken expectations that could lead us to a lot of heartache. So here's what I want you guys to do today is really examine where you might have some unspoken expectations that are causing you some heartache in your life. It was this process that allowed me to radically change how I relate, interact, and enjoy my holiday seasons. Because for years, I had a lot of unspoken expectations. I expected that my mother and father would want me around. I expected that they would be just as excited about it that I was. I expected that they would cook or say thank you. I expected that they would be here on time and that they would be excited to be here or they'd bring things and that they'd be thankful. Well, when these things didn't happen, I got hurt. I was sad, I was upset, I was disappointed. Sound familiar? Those were unspoken expectations. Now I get it. A lot of you are thinking to yourselves, well, Bonnie, that doesn't seem unrealistic. And you're right. I mean, in a healthy family dynamic, those things are probably pretty normal. And in fact, are pretty expected. But if you're anything like me, your family isn't always normal. In fact, that you have people who have their own hurts and heartaches, who have their own issues that are causing all the disappointment. And it's hurt people who hurt people. I know that a lot of times we think that others are narcissistic or we think that they're self-absorbed. But really, a lot of times people are just in a constant mental state of survival and don't know how to be better. So when we begin to examine where we have expectations of how they should be, we can begin to remove those expectations, create boundaries if we need to, but then allow ourselves to truly see and appreciate what we can expect, and then that way we allow ourselves to enjoy the holiday in the way that we desire. Okay, so here's what I want you to do. Do you got pen and paper? Let's start here. The very first thing I want you to do is I want you to pick somebody who causes you a lot of heartache around the holidays. Maybe it's your mother, father, brother, sister. Write it down. Now, write their role, right? Not the name of the person. Maybe their name is Sally Sue. Well, instead of writing Sally Sue, we want to write down mom. We want to write down dad. We want to write down brother. So for this example, let's just use mother. Now, I want you to examine what are your expectations of a mother around the holidays or just in general? Well, and not your mother, but mothers in general. Remember, we want to kind of separate that person from, get them out of the picture and focus on the people in general. Now, just write down all the expectations. Maybe you expect them to be nurturing, loving, supportive, friendly, helpful. What are the qualities and attributes? Write them down. Now, next to that, the next thing I want you to do is this. From a scale of 1 to 10, 1 being not at all, 10 being very much, score how much you would expect a mother to be these things. Okay, so now that you've got all these qualities and attributes, let's say, for example, we have loving, supportive, nurturing, and helpful. Now, on a scale of 1 to 10, how loving should a mother be? Probably a 10. How supportive? Probably a 10. How nurturing? Probably a 9 or 10. How helpful? Definitely an 8 or a 9. So we're going to have, now we have all of these, and this is where our expectation is. Here's the third part. Ready? Now I want you to bring back into your mind the actual person you're doing this with. So in this example, Sally Sue is my mother. So Sally Sue, we want to think about, all right, in general, not in one place, in general, how loving is Sally Sue on a scale of 1 to 10? Maybe she's only a 3. How nurturing and how supportive? scale that. Maybe it's a 7, maybe it's a 5. How helpful? Maybe it's a 1 or a -2, right? So now what we do is we have where we would expect somebody to be, and we can clearly see what they're capable of being. Now this is where the final step comes in, where we remove our expectations and step into understanding and compassion. We have to stop expecting people, stop being hopeful that they will be who you desire them to be, and start appreciating them for who they are and what they're capable of. Now here's my disclaimer. Just because we can accept somebody doesn't mean that it makes their behavior acceptable. Just know and trust that if you need to, you can assert boundaries. Know that you can set up parameters or barriers to protect yourself. So know that you don't have to accept their behavior. You can not invite them. You can limit your exposure to them. There's so many different ways and things that you can do to kind of minimize the impact. But once we release our expectations and we get real with what you can expect from them, and that's really the last thing after you move to compassion, get real. What can you expect from them? Once you can get clear with that, maybe you can expect them not to offer help. Maybe you can expect them to show up an hour late. Maybe you can expect them not to bring anything. Maybe you can expect them not to say thank you. So once we can get real with that, we can just expect it. And we just know that if you choose to invite them, that's what you get. That's the person that's going to come. And we stop being hopeful and stop expecting them to be someone they can't. Hopefully that helps. Until next time, Bonnie Kelly. Did you enjoy this video? I hope so. It was brought to you from many viewers like you. So I hope you don't mind my incognito and my total casual appeal today, but I wanted to just speak with you heart to heart. I know the holidays can be really difficult. If you want some extra help on that, check out our online course that we have coming up and some of our events we have just for you. We're going to do a 2-day live releasing expectations and boundaries workshop for people just like you. So if you're interested in doing that, click the link below. We have the live version of it, and we'll have the recorded version for those of our YouTube fans who catch this a little bit later. So hopefully that helps. Until next time, I'm Bonnie Kelly.